Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We are journeying through the tiers in World of Tanks. We struggled through tier 1, 2, and 3 and learned the game. Tier 4 was a little spooky. And tier 5 was just a fun tier. Tier 6 and 7, the most balanced, most overall enjoyable tiers in the game. At tier 7, some of us bought expensive tanks to handle, like the Tiger, like some tanks that have expensive rounds to shoot. I started noticing that you can't really make credits as you progress higher and higher in the tiers. And you need to buy equipment. You need to equip the tanks. You need to buy new tanks. Everything costs so much money. And then you get to tier 8. And you realize, well, I probably need a premium tank. I need a premium tank to fund my addiction to this game. And tier 8 is where WarGaming finally cashes in. Tier 8, where all the tanks are for sale, where we start making the money. And all of us that play the game say, well, let's take a shot and miss. That's not what we say. We say, okay, we justify it. We have to start making credits, so you have to start buying premium tanks. If you don't buy a premium tank, it's very difficult to progress and keep playing this game. So WarGaming has a lot for sale. There's a smorgasbord of tanks for sale at tier 8. And they have very interesting ad campaigns to try and sell them. And they try and sell the strangest tanks with the strangest techniques. Ho, 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 I'm Mr. Plow. Mr. Plow, oh, that's my name. My name is Mr. Plow. I'm a tank that's in the game. I'm Mr. Plow. Sold by WarGaming. Just give me $60 and you can have Mr. Plow, because that's my name. And some people are stupid enough to buy them. So that's what happens, guys. That's why you see tanks like Mr. Plow in the game. To make credits, to fund the addiction. And he's gonna get buried. No, he's shooting through the rocks. He almost got buried. He was smart enough to wait there with the aim circle. He thought he could feather one through there, but he did not. So, we could do 30 different tanks. We could feature 30 different tanks at tier 8. And they should all be premium, because tier 8 is the premium tier. It's where all the premium tanks are. But there are some very good regular tier 8 tanks, but generally what you see when you play a tier 8 game, and you get tier 8 matchmaking. This guy's tier 8 and 7. If it's completely tier 8, in some games, all the tanks will be premium tanks. In some games. In some games, it'll be like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's the Super Pershing. So it's the... when you play tier 8, stop and notice. There's another... There's a $50 one. Stop and count how many premium tanks there are. Don't push your teammate. Why would you do that? Just go around him. He's a guy, teammate's trying to stay safe behind a dead tank. He's pushing him. You start to get people that are very serious about the game at tier 8 too. They start to become assholes. They do. Get out of the way! I want to move forward. I know you're there. Let me push you sideways. Maybe the enemy will shoot you. Something happens to our minds. And you get higher and higher. Get more and more serious. Especially if you're driving Mr. Plow. But I got distracted. I got distracted because he was a little bit of an asshole there. What was I trying to say? I can't remember. Well, you have to make credits. So oh, I remember what I was going to say. The next time you're in a tier 8 game, whether you're in a premium tank or not, just assess the battlefield and count how many premium tanks there are in the game. Maybe there's 10 per side. That's 20. Multiply that by 40 or 50. What's 20 times 50? What's 10 times 50? 500? 20 times 50? 1,000. Okay. 20 premium tanks? Ballpark. 50 Canadian dollars? That's $1,000 rolling around on the battlefield. Just one game. And there's thousands of games! And that's why WarGaming is a very rich company. A very successful company. And no matter what they add to the game, no matter how ridiculous they are, like Mr. Plow here, they'll sell them. So that's what it's like. And you got to make credits, so you got to get a premium tank. And you got to grind. With your premium tank, you get out there and make the credits. They don't just... Well, actually, there's premium plus now. But you actually got to go out and play. And this guy is lucky. I'm going to show you some games where they do well, okay? I'm not going to troll you. But many games you get out there in your tier 8 premium tank and your objective is to play 20 games and turn on some boosters and grind some credits. Because that's what the premium tanks really, mainly, that's what their strength is, to make the credits. So some people do a grinding session to make credits. And sometimes it's great. But sometimes when we touch, the RNG's too much. And I just want to throw my computer outside. Okay. He's taking it up the ass by the cheery. Why don't you point your plow at him? You have some of those sessions where you try and grind credits. You're going to play 20 games with your tier 8 premium tank. You turn the boosters on, which immediately means you're going to get shit matchmaking because WarGaming knows. He's locked in for an hour, Yuri. He turned booster on? Yes. They call it booster to fool you into thinking it's a booster. Really what it is, it's a tracking mechanism WarGaming uses to know if you're going to play for a full hour. And if they know you're going to play for a full hour, they know they've got you locked in, so they might as well put you up against tier 9s and 10s. But Mr. Plow here did pretty good with the 5,369 damage. And he made some credits. Look at that, with the boosters and all that stuff, right? This is grinding credits time. You turn boosters on, or heaven forbid, you platoon with a friend because you want to have fun for a couple of hours together. That's the marker that WarGaming uses to know, haha, we got him. He's going to be around for at least an hour, Yuri. Put him up against the tier 10s. And I kid you not, guys, tier 8 is probably the worst matchmaking in the game. And the reason is there's just so many. There's all the premium tanks. The people that want to make credits. It's the most heavily played tier. And what happens is when the queue has so many tier 8s, it doesn't know where to put them. So it distributes them around. And you get in a lot of tier 9 and 10 games. To get them out of the queue, you're going to fill those, you're going to be the cannon fodder for the tier 9s and 10s. I'm showing you, so I didn't want to troll you and make it a shit show video, because there's hundreds of games that I could show you tier 8s just struggling versus tier 10s. And it's the dichotomy of the game. You want to make credits so you get the premium tank. You get the premium tank and you're always bottom tier. And it's very frustrating. But I'm showing you some games where, where there's good matchmaking for these tanks, where they actually perform. Okay, so we're watching the Grom, and the Grom is, he's bouncing like a boss, and this guy keeps shooting. So, I said in previous videos, tier 6 and 7 are the most balanced, fun, competitive tiers in the game. Oh, nice. Very nice. And they are. Tier 8 is the most unbalanced. Just one tier. You move one tier up, and it's a shit show. Just one tier. Boom. And it's a roll of the dice, too. If you get good matchmaking, tier 8 is balanced. So that's why a lot of players like to play that, what's that mode? Fortnite? Frontline? Because you're fighting all tier 8s. But that's a shit show, too, because there's hundreds of them. But the tier 8 is where you get trolled the most. You're going to get in tier 9 and 10 games a lot. It's the worst matchmaking in the game. By far, it's not even close. But this is why you play. To make credits. And hope that you get some decent matchmaking. That guy's still there in the corner. His teammates have not taken care of him. And sometimes when we touch. The honesty's too much. Oh, yes. Oh, the Grom. Oh, and I have to shoot you up the ass. One more time. The Grom has circumvented the map and flanked the whole entire enemy team. And now he's driven into the open like a muppet. What are you doing? Boom. Get in cover. Get in cover. Get behind the house. Oh, he's lucky he didn't take a big one. I'll give it to him. Give this poor guy the AT-50. 805. How much damage is this guy gonna do, guys? So we're working our way through the tiers, and you can tell my my energy has kind of dropped for this tier because the game really turns around now. If you've been watching my series, going through the whole tiers, you know, fun, fun, fun. And then when tier 6, 5, 6, 7 is balance, 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 intriguing, technique, strategy. And then you get to tier 8 and it falls apart. It literally falls apart. And that's because of the urge of WarGaming to monetize this game. And the game is flooded with premium tanks. And they're constantly new premium tanks that are... Let's see if this guy gets the last kill. There you go. A constant barrage of shit show games like this where the guy does 8,360 damage in 4 minutes. And tier 8 is a continual conveyor belt. It's a conveyor belt where WarGaming loads new shit to pile up into the game. More and more and more powerful premium tanks continuously flooding the game, and they're good at the beginning when you get good matchmaking, but then you know, then you get bad matchmaking and then they suck. And we're just going to look at the team score here, and you'll see tanks like the Object 252U when it came out. This was plowing through the game, dominating everywhere, and of course now this guy's playing his Object 252U, and his 5 shots he penned 1, and his game sucked. And you can look at the list of tanks here. There's so many premiums. And the game takes a turn at tier 8. It's the shit show tier. Right? It's like when you're driving down the highway, it's the merge and exit lane. It's the lane where it's a shit show. You want to avoid this lane. You want to drive in the left lane and avoid the shit showness. Tier 8 is where, you know, they're coming and going and they're grinding for credits and they're platooning, and it's just crazy. Then you get to tier 9 and 10, which we're going to cover, and you get to feast on the smorgasbord of shit that exists in tier 8. Join me tomorrow for tier 9. We'll continue our journey. I'll catch you guys on the next one.